So I'm going to just show you how to put these on there to adjust this rear spring so you can adjust your height. It is all going to be on preference on how high you want it off the floor. Motor setup, weight, power to rate ratio, all of that's going to be a factor. So what I like to do is get that out the way. The main thing is what you're going to want to do is take the spring, adjust it in. And that's going to make your rear suspension stiffer. The stiffer your suspension is, the less it is going to sway front and back. It is going to absorb, but higher speeds you want a little bit more stable. So what I like to do is count our threads that we have. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These go 15, 13, 14, 15 probably. So let's go ahead, get that wheel back on. And I am not going to be running these wheels. So I don't really care too much about these. Might get these reskinned, but at the moment, not at the moment. We're not going that route. Next, what we want to do is reduce that screw that is set in our ride height. So to lower that arm, we want to pretty much lower that spring. And then keep in mind that pretty much when you go to adjust this, it's going to be stiffer. It is going to raise it up in the rear as well as the front. So what you will want to do is probably move the shock out a bit. That's going to also add more compression, and then rebound's going to be a little bit different. So this height is pretty much high. It's a little bit too high. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side and get that all swapped around. And then I'll go from there. So I'm going to just show you what happens when you adjust this front screw as well as the rear before we touch the springs. So on the bottom right here is a QS8 connector. So the more I screw that spring or that screw in, while the spring's not adjusted, you can see where that lowers the whole suspension. So that's pretty flush. And the area that I'm adjusting is that screw right here. So that is going to adjust for your height. When you do it on one side, you're going to want to do it to the other. And then keep in mind when you go to adjust that screw, you're going to have to pull down on that arm to get that screwdriver back out. So since we did that to the front, let's go ahead and do it to the rear. So the more I screw that in, you can see our ride height should start to lower. And that thing is dumped. Look at that front end just gonna drag down the road. Look how that front end's just sitting right there. That's not the height I'm gonna run at. What I like to do is just kind of show you guys, and you can play around with your height you're gonna want to do it at. So I like to just kind of mess around, get it all adjusted front to rear, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side, get that slammed, and then we can go up from there once we get our spring tension adjusted. So let's get that other side adjusted. And that thing gets slammed on the front end. So this is just showing you how to adjust your ride height. So you can see how slim that is. Before I can get my fingers all the way under it, now you can barely get it under. So just keep that in mind when you're gonna go adjust this ride height. You just gotta find what surface you're running on, what area you're at, things in that nature. I can't tell you what's gonna work best. It's just gonna be like an observation. Try it, lower it, try it and lower it. I already have some preset roads that I'll be running on, and I know what suspension setting I want to do. If it's too low, it's too low. If it's too high, it's too high.